Hey Chem teachers, it's Kindra here with another set of Bellwork questions. This time, Bellwork questions to strengthen your mole concept skills in your students and for you to easily check for misunderstandings and understandings of those foundational skills. So here I have 4 targeted Bellwork questions that assess student understanding of 4 topics that we talk about in our moles unit. They are percent composition, molar mass, one-step mole conversions, and I'm going to look at moles to mass, and then looking at moles to volume and particles. These quick checks are going to help identify common misconceptions so that way you can quickly gauge the student understandings and then adjust your lesson if needed, especially if you're on day 2 of a topic. You might think, why do I start with Bellwork? And if you've been around for a while, you know this, but if you're new, just know that Bellwork has 3 really great, well, there's many, but 3 of the most important reasons to start with Bellwork is 1, that it engages our students immediately. It gets them thinking, it gets them focused about chemistry as soon as they walk in the door. 2, it helps you identify gaps in their understanding in a really low stakes situation for them. You put the Bellwork question up on the board when they walk into class. They've got that Bellwork sheet, which if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, I give you a Bellwork sheet as one of my gifts to you in the first couple of days of signing up. And that's a really great standard, easy to implement, students know how to use it sheet. I always printed it on colored paper, and that was a great way to start class. But it helps you catch those misconceptions when you're walking around while your students are working on their Bellwork questions. And it builds a routine for success. Our students thrive off of routines. And so by having them walk in the door, they know what to get out: periodic table, calculator, Bellwork sheet, their notes from the day before or their current packet that we're using. And then now they know, okay, I'm writing down my Bellwork question. I'm answering my Bellwork question. Maybe I'm working with my table to answer the Bellwork question, figure out how to do it. Maybe I missed the day before, so I'm learning from a peer of how did I do this, and we're going over it. So it's just a really great way to help them ease into class and know exactly what they need to do. So let's get into what these could look like for moles, and then after that I'll tell you a little bit more about me in case you're new around here. So like I said, our Bellwork needs to be short and sweet, and so you'll notice that all these questions are really quick and they're targeted on specific concepts. So percent composition, it's something I teach right away in moles. So I have them calculate the percent composition of sodium sulfide. You'll notice that I just use the word sodium sulfide because in the unit previous to this, I teach bonding, so they will have learned how to convert names to formulas, and this also reinforces that skill for them. So they have to figure that out first, and then I have them determine how much does this weigh as a whole. We haven't talked about molar mass yet, so this is me saying, well, how much does this whole thing weigh? Let's look to our periodic tables, and now let's split it up. What chunk is sodium? What chunk is sulfur? And then I have them calculate both of them. The next day we get into molar mass because now we've identified what is that vocabulary term for the thing that they've already been doing. So that's great. It doesn't seem new. It's like, oh, that's what that's called? Oh, okay. So I have them calculate the molar mass of ammonium carbonate. Again, I give them the word or the name of it, and then they have to figure out the formula. And then when I'm just doing molar mass, I try to give them a really chunky one, so that way they have to go ahead and carry through with our parentheses and have lots of subscripts in there for them. Then we get into one-step moles. So if you've been following around for a while, you know that in our properties of matter unit, when I teach metric conversions, I teach dimensional analysis because now we pull that skill out. Oh, I've done dimensional analysis before, and we apply it to, now what's new is moles in these weird words and more scientific notation, which they despise, but they get better at it. So we're going from how many molecules are in 4.5 moles carbon dioxide. Again, I always tell them, you write down the number given to you. We take our units, we drop them like they're hot. I reference the Snoop Dogg song. We don't play it because it's not appropriate for school, but it makes them chuckle. And then we convert to our molecules, and we multiply across the top and divide by the bottom to get our answer. So in just one-step moles, because at this point, that's all that they've learned. And then I typically would just do 1 in class. If you're on more of a block schedule, you're probably going to have 2 of these because you can spend just a little bit longer on Bellwork. And then the next one, again, a one-step mole calculation. How many moles of water are in 90.1 grams? Water's a great one to use because they start to get really good at the molar mass, and so it's just one less thing for them to do. And it's easy for them for recall. And so we're converting grams, take our units, drop them like they're hot down to the bottom, and we go to what we're looking for, our moles, multiply across the top, divide by the bottom, and get our answer. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Kindra, and I am your best friend coworker down the hall who is eager and ready to take things off your plate, so that way at the end of the day you can go home and not bring grading and prep home with you, and you can just go home and enjoy your life. I've been a chemistry teacher for over 10 years, and through that time, I have honed in how to reach and create success in all of my students in the wide variety of courses and levels of students that I have taught. I created ChemEd Solutions to share my high impact, sought after, easy to implement resources with other chem teachers just like you. And I also support you and them throughout your teaching journey. So if you enjoyed this, make sure that you hit like and subscribe to get a weekly YouTube video with a resource. And for even more, plus a free gift, I have a skills-focused chemistry guide if you check out my link below. And with that, not only will you get some really great gifts and the mentioned Bellwork sheet, but you'll also be included on my weekly newsletter where I share out tips, tricks, resources, all sorts of different gifts to you to help you on your teaching journey and take a little bit more off your plate. So with all of that, thanks for joining and happy sciencing.